Two more stories now. The Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari has approved a review of the national anti-corruption policy of the federal government, extending it from the year 2022 to 2026. The review and extension, according to the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, on Wednesday, became necessary following successes recorded by the administration in its anti-corruption drive. Malami revealed the anti-corruption agencies have been able to secure convictions on behalf of the government in courts to the tune of over 3,000. He said bulk of the convictions were secured between 2015 and till date. The Attorney General of the Federation also disclosed that looted funds recovered by the administration, both locally and from foreign governments in the last few years, amount to over $1 billion. President Muhammadu Buhari has nominated his special assistant on social media, LAURETTA, ONOCHIE, as substantive chairman of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, as well as 14 other board members. In a letter sent to the Senate, which contained the list of nominees, Buhari asked the upper chamber to confirm the appointment. Senate President Ahmad Lawan read the letter during Wednesday's plenary session. This is the second time Buhari is forwarding a list of nominees for the NDDC board for confirmation. However, Lawan stated that Buhari's decision to send another list of nominees for confirmation was because there was a flaw in the previous compilation. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on Tuesday said it would be constitutionally and legally impossible to resume voter registration before the 2023 elections. INEC ended the registration exercise in July, but civil society groups have kicked, arguing that the move would disenfranchise millions of Nigerians. On Tuesday, a federal high court in Abuja reportedly ordered the commission to resume voter registration until 90 days before the election. However, INEC National Commissioner and Director of Voter Education, Festus Okoye, in an interview said the commission was yet to obtain the true certified copies of the court ruling. Mr. Okoye also suggested that voter registration ahead of the 2023 elections was more or less over. Quote, it will be constitutionally and legally impossible for the Commission to resume the continuous voter registration exercise. End of quote. He also noted that INEC was working on improving the voter registration process for future elections. The leadership of the Southwest support groups for the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola TINUBU, has called on Nigerians to get familiar with information on their voter cards ahead of the February 2023 general elections. Chairman of the group, Olaniyi Israel Fadari, in an enlarged meeting at Testing Balogun Stadium in Lagos, stated that the support groups in a few weeks will be engaging Nigerians on the need to vote for the APC presidential candidate and former governor of Lagos, Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Representatives of the various support groups from the southwestern region of the country for identifying with the APC and its presidential candidate. Chairman of the coalition and support group of Tinubu Shetima campaign, Olaniyi Israel Fadari, said the number of those that have registered as volunteers for the support of the APC presidential candidate goes to show that Nigerians truly appreciate the fact that Bola Tinubu is the candidate for the job. Other members of the group executives congratulated all support groups on the ground that have shown interest in the affairs of the party and urged them not to relent in their efforts towards ensuring victory at the polls. They also advised representatives of the group to ensure their groups are registered properly. They also encouraged the support groups to get their PVC ready before the election.
What it entails from every member is to make sure they get their voters card, and there's so many informations on that voters card that they need to know. One of it is the polling unit. By now they need to identify where their polling unit is, and not on that day that they start asking people where is our polling unit. And again, the whole electoral process is becoming technical now.
Of the 2023 general elections, the Muslim Ummah of the southwest Nigeria has trumped support for the aspiration of the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This was disclosed during the 7th General Assembly of MUSWEN held at Islamic Center, University of Ibadan Central Mosque. While speaking at the event, Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji asked Muslims, especially women, to participate actively in the electoral process. Oyebanji, who was represented by the Secretary to the Government of Ekiti State, Alhaja Abibat Odubiaro, expressed optimism that a greater participation of women in politics will give them greater access to positively impact society.
The role of MUSWEN is actually to sensitize all Muslims on the necessity to get involved in the elections. First, to register as voters and collect their voters card. Then be prepared to vote during the elections. The MUSWEN already made their intentions known because since it's the only one from the Southwest, that is contesting the presidential ticket. So MUSWEN is supporting him. The MUSWEN is supporting Bola Ahmed TINUBU, in these elections as president of Nigeria.
I will enjoy Muslims to join politics, Muslim women to join politics. Some people will be saying politics is this, politics is that, but if you are not there, you cannot join them and you cannot even correct them. So we can only correct them if we are among them. So I can only enjoy my Muslim sisters to join us, to be there, so that we can also participate in the development of our states and the Nigeria in general.
Governor of Benue State, Samuel ORTOM, has called on the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to make adequate provisions for the over 2 million internally displaced persons in the state ahead of the 2023 general elections. He made the call in Abuja on Tuesday. The governor, presented by Professor Magdalene Dura, his special advisor on Millennium Development Goals, said INEC should create polling units at IDP camps and also engage its members as ad hoc staff during elections. This, he said, would ensure the credibility of the elections at such centers while giving them a sense of belonging. He also expressed concern over the fate of over 2 million IDPs in his state, who, he said, had been rendered homeless as a result of insurgency. He appealed to the federal government to come to the assistance of the IDPs in Benue, as it is doing to other IDPs in other parts of the country. As the nation prepares for next year's general election, youths have been enjoined to participate in the democratic process by imbibing a mindset of building new social structures. This was the focus of this year's International Students' Day celebration in Ibadan, which focuses on how best youths can be change makers. Special guest of honor at the event and Governor of Oyo State, MAKINDE, called on government at all levels to do more for Nigerian students who are to take charge of the development of the country in the future.
We will continue to ensure that you have no reason to protest. Because you can imagine, 3 years plus, have we had any violent protests by the students in Oyo State? Yes, we've had our challenges, but we've been able to come together, reason together, and solve our problems together. So under ONOCHIE 2.0, we will not give you also any reason to protest.
By 2021, the governor has already reduced the number of out-of-school children by 20%, and the rate is set to increase remarkably before the 2023 election. In line with the UNESCO recommendation, the Oyo State government has been able to earmark about 20% of its budget to the educational sector. Without a doubt, this is a wonderful feat. Kudos to our working, student-friendly government.
On behalf of over 5.1 million in Oyo State, I would like to tell you that the Oyo State students have decided that we work with ONOCHIE 2.0 and will make sure we come to success.
Chairman, Shomolu Local Government Area of Lagos State, Abdul Ahmed Salawu, has described information and communication technology as a way to create more job opportunities for the growing unemployed population of the country. IBrandTV reports that the chairman in a 3-day ICT Youth Empowerment Program organized by the ICT units of the local government said the program is to complement the efforts of the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in the area of youth empowerment and ICT.
three-day program open, wife of the local government chairman, Mrs. Mariam Salawu, said the ICT program organized by the local government is not just important to the youth in the local government area, but Lagos at large, and advised all other local government chairmen to replicate same. Mrs. Mariam said the local government chairman will not stop at any length to promote youth empowerment programs. Addressing participants at the event, Chairman Shomolu Local Government Area, Abdulhamed Salawu, represented by the Head of Agriculture and Youth, Ektoayo Koka, asked participants to see the event as an opportunity to develop themselves and their community. He advised them to take the program serious so as to be able to fit into the program of the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, for technology and youth empowerment.
This is a program that is very important for our youth here in Shomolu and also at large in Lagos State. As we all know that technology is now the bedrock of global economy, has bring to the youth of his community this ICT workshop to improve your skills.
You shouldn't just see it as a program for yourself alone. You see it as a program to develop yourself, not just yourself, but the community where you stay. This is a program that can turn you to wherever you want to be in life. It's a program, it falls into the third pillar of agenda of the Babajide Sanwo-Olu team's agenda, which stands for education and technology. Because in the next dispensation, this is where this state is going to, technology.
Head of ICT, Education and Special Advisor on ICT to the Chairman, Shomolu Local Government, Kola Mohammed, while thanking the Chairman of the local government for his people-oriented project, said the three-day program will introduce participants to the skills they have desired for long in the ICT business. They said the program will further complement the state governor's effort in ensuring that the youths are equipped with the right ICT skills to make Lagos a smart city.
I'm using this medium to thank all our participants that are in this auditorium. And I want to assure us that the 3 days program is going to be fun-filled. We're going to impart every one of us, and we're going home with a very, very, very positive things that we have learned. And at the end of everything, we shall have the cause to glorify the name of Almighty Allah.
The only thing that make a change is when you develop your human resources. When you equip them with the desired knowledge that will assist their 3 domains that are needed for every human being to become an egalitarian, reliable, in order to develop himself and the environment in which he lives.
The 3-day ICT Youth Empowerment Program continues. IBrandTV reporting for IBrandTV News.